Well, Wackademia, the wacky world of academia. Well, doesn't get much wackier than this one. We've often talked on this show, we've had Peter Ridd, we've had Jennifer Mara-Hasey talking about the Great Barrier Reef and marine science and what is or isn't happening there. But the ANU, James, they've found a whole other thing that we should be worried about marine sciences.
Well, yeah, and the Australian National University in landlocked Canberra is now weighing in on the subject of marine biology. So I find that interesting. Perhaps they're studying what's happening in the depths of Lake Burley-Griffin.
I wouldn't go down the bottom of Lake Burley-Griffin in a hurry. I would not go. There are a few politicians down there.
You need a pretty thick wetsuit for that. I'll just put it that way. But they say that the big problem with marine biology is, wait for it, it's not gender diverse enough. So there is a glass ceiling that is, maybe it's a glass bottom boat. I don't know. And that is facing women in marine science. And apparently, if we don't have enough women in marine biology, we won't save the planet. Now, I always find these things very interesting because you never ever see anybody say, we don't have enough, female garbos to take out the trash, but whatever. Rita, I don't know, maybe you can explain this one.
Well, yeah, any field where there's an overrepresentation of women is perfectly fine. Any field where there's more men. And I think we just have to respect women's choices. If women gravitate to certain fields, then allow them to do what they want. This artificial coaxing them into particular fields where there's underrepresentation, I find quite insulting, to be honest with you. But apparently we will not achieve global ocean sustainability without gender diversity.
Of course.
But I like these people to explain what is a woman to begin with. I mean, how do we know there's an underrepresentation?
But what about, the study's authors say it is not only a problem of diversity, but a barrier. Maybe they mean a great barrier to achieving our global ocean sustainability goals. And the worst, but all of it, which would be funny and gives us fodder for our Wackademia segment of the show, but the tragedy is you pay for these people and for this rubbish to actually
but I'm sure
be
their
research
is completely free of any ideological
Of
bias.
course.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's not as if they put that in at the front to get another grant. No, you're right, Rita. Rita, tell us about your friends, the libs of TikTok, and why Twitter has locked them out.
Twitter's locked this account out, which is highly effective. It's a woman who runs it, I think from New York, but she just highlights the pure insanity that's being shared on TikTok, which most of us never see because we're not on TikTok. So she puts it on a wider platform, but locked out of her account for highlighting that these drag queen shows are happening for children. And we're going to be speaking to Alex Stein later. He protested at one of these events in Dallas, but libs of TikTok for just pointing out that these events are happening. These are public events. They're advertised, they're promoted, but because she's promoting it to the wrong type of people who are not on board, locked out of their account. But of course, they always say it was a mistake. It was all these mistakes Twitter makes are always in the one direction.
But it's always interesting with these things because, she literally, as you say, all she does, she doesn't do anything, no editorializing, no putting anything around it, just literally quotes people what they say and says what they said then, what they said now. It's a fantastic account, but this explains why there was such a meltdown when Elon Musk launched his bid to buy Twitter, because he was, A, he's going to put a stop to it, but B, it also revealed that Twitter has become basically this narrative enforcement machine and this propaganda machine for the left and for the whole media classes, the whole talking shop classes, so they know where the herd mind is, and it's as much about promoting and propagandizing to the wider world as it is also about enforcing the narrative and keeping those people who are involved in that ecosystem in their lane.
And also hiding the truth from the normal folk, the ones who are not on TikTok. I'm sure there's some normal folk on TikTok, but there's stuff that trends on TikTok that would bewilder most of us, even those of us who are very online. And libs of TikTok has just put a torch on it. This is what's happening.
TikTok too. TikTok is a creation of China, the Chinese Communist Party, and all of that. And the stuff that it pumps into the culture, into the American culture, would never be allowed in China. Beijing would bang you up in jail for 30 years if you did some of the stuff there.
That's where I found out about cake genders, Rowan. And that I identify as cake, red velvet and carrot.
We can see, yes.